Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and my dear sisters. This video is a bit different, and this is something that a lot of people, they ask in Ramadan. Very popular question that why do we sin in Ramadan when shaitan is locked up? Which is a pretty valid question, which is a valid question, which is a very valid question. The fact that shaitan is the one who makes us sin. So if he's locked up, then how come we're still sinning and making mistakes, even in Ramadan? Now, this is a very interesting question, and it's not really as simple as we think, right? And I'll explain this in a way using a car example, which will make sense, inshallah ta'ala, with the help and grace of Allah. Now, let's say, I have a car. I don't, subhanallah. But let's say I have a car. Now, focus on this example, right? So I have a car. And basically, I start the car, I go on the road, there's no cars, there's nothing. Now, I press the gas, right? The speed. And now the car is, subhanallah, at, let's say 80, it's at 80. It's going at 80. Now, the moment, now if I take my foot off, think about it, right? So the car is going 80. This looks more like an airplane, but subhanAllah, the car is going 80, right? It's going. Now, if I take off my foot from the speed, what is going to happen, right? The car isn't just going to come to zero. So if it's going 80, it's not just going to stop in the middle, right? That's not going to happen. If I take off my full foot off the speed without pressing the brake, without pressing anything, just doing nothing, let's take my foot, the whole foot off the speed, it's going 80, it's going to start doing what? It's going to start slowing down. It's going to take what? 15, 30, I don't know how long it takes, but let's say 30, 35 seconds, right? Or maybe even 10, 20, I don't know, Allah. But even if you're going, 10 and you take your foot off the speed, the car is still going. It's not going to be as fast, but it's still going to be going. Similarly, let me finish this example. So the car is going 80, I take my foot off, takes about 30 seconds, and the car will eventually come to a stop, but it will still keep going a little bit unless you press the brake. Similarly, think about this, right? Shaitan, he is basically, subhanAllah, so his foot is on the speed. Speed of what? Not the car, of us, right? So his foot is on the speed and he's making a sin every day. You know, and when Ramadan comes, let's say his speed is 80, he's making a sin again, 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 every single day. Ramadan comes, he's put, he's taken and he's chained up, he's put in jail, let's say, and the the speed is 80, right? Now when he's taken out, he didn't press the gas, he didn't press the brake. He just, he just took off his foot from the brake or from the gas because he's taken away. Just like I was sitting here without doing anything, right? So now he was making a sin at the speed of 80, right? Think about this. And he's taken away. He didn't press the brake or anything else. So slowly it will take 30 seconds or 35, whatever, to slow down, right? So it's not, it's going to take some time to, slow down. So that's why we see in Ramadan, slowly, slowly we're sinning. When the first day we don't feel that big of an effect. Some of us, subhanAllah, we feel a big effect. Most of us, we don't. And so slowly, the sins, they come down, down, down. So we notice, the last few days of Ramadan, we have this, most of us are very, practicing. Even if one doesn't wake up for tahajjud, he's waking up. Uh, it's a very nice feeling, it's a really good feeling. And so those are the days that shaitan's, level is coming down, the speed is coming down. And then he's out, and then, speed goes back up. He starts, full on the speed. So the point is that we as humans, it's not just shaitan who makes us sin, right? We have a soul, right? So shaitan, he makes us, sin, 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 and so it reaches to the point in our soul. That's why we see people who don't even fast in Ramadan. We see people engaged in zina and haram things, and many people, they're listening to music because this is something they're so used to. So it's not shaitan. Shaitan, what he wants is for you to keep doing a sin again and again and again, right? Without you changing your ways or you repenting and so on. So shaitan, he just, he pushes you to sin. He's not like using your hands and using your hands to put headphones in your ears. He's not doing that. He just pushes you. He puts this thing of let's go and do this thing and let's do that. So when he's not there, the effect is still there because of the car example that I gave. So it's not necessarily shaitan who's always, he is for the most part, but it's about our soul. For example, someone listening who listens to music, right? Shaitan gets locked up. They're still, you know, they don't care about, repenting and so on. So they're still, it's the heart. They're just, the heart is just like, I want to do this. So they listen to music. So it's about, you're so used to it. This is the word. Shaitan, he makes you so used to the sin that even in Ramadan, you're falling, So even though this is, now I think about it, not the best example when I thought about it, it was a pretty good example. It's the best that my mind can produce. So, inshallah ta'ala, we get, the point, right? It's not always shaitan, for the most part, he's pushing us, but sometimes we're just so used to it in the soul, in the heart, that we just want to, do the sin. And so this is why you need to cleanse your heart by praying, by repenting, by making a connection with Allah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us an understanding, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.